And it's hard to believe that we're talking about shelter and all these other type of perhaps assistance efforts being offered now by different agencies, because we're still in the thick of it, and we have been dealing with this for several days. But last we checked with Lee Spann, I believe, Lee, that you said we still have about another 12 hours of this coming our way. Have we seen the worst, or is this going to get worse?
It may get worse in the next maybe 2 to 3 hours. And I continue to show you this picture because I believe this is going to be the iconic picture that comes out of some of today's flooding. This is 275 coming into Tampa, and this is the West Shore exit where people tried to exit, and basically it took them into a pond.
Our biggest concern this morning, however, remains the area around the Anclote River in Elfers. So we're anticipating seeing flooding in the Elfers Parkway area in excess of anything we've seen since, or equivalent to anything we've seen since 1945.
Now let's go ahead and check in now with Mark Douglas. He's in Palm Harbor, and you are knee-deep in water, sir.
Oh, we're way past knee-deep. If you go far enough in here, it's about 5 feet deep. We're at the Sherwood Forest RV Park, which is under about 4 to 5 feet of water. People have been stranded here all morning. We just witnessed the rescue of an elderly couple, and the Palm Harbor rescue folks are coming out as we speak with, we understand, a baby. They were going back in to rescue a baby and a mother. I look over my shoulder here. You can see them behind those trees. They're trying to weave their way out through the obstacles that are now underwater. There's a Volkswagen Beetle that they can barely see. The water is so deep, so that'll give you a benchmark for exactly what we're talking about here. We're at the corner of Palm Harbor Boulevard and Tampa Road, and now you can see that John boat with the 2 firefighters making their way around the corner. Looks like an adult male in the front, looks like mom in the back, and if I'm not mistaken, she's holding an infant in her arms as she makes her way, as they make their way toward the rescue area here where I'm standing. And in the forefront, you see these ducks going by. We just saw a swan swimming by here a little bit ago. It's a good day for ducks, but that's about it. Now, the woman who was rescued just a few moments ago, Mrs. Fox, told me that she was just terrified. They were able to get a lot of their belongings out as the water quickly rose inside the Sherwood Forest RV Park, but in the end, she said, we couldn't get ourselves out, and they were literally trapped back there with about 10 inches of water in their home, 10 inches of water up in their home. Now, again, here comes the rescue John boat with the family inside, making their way to safety where I'm standing. They're coming up here. Looks like a couple dogs. We got a mom. Do we have a baby on board there? Okay, we got a baby on board, and we're just stepping aside here. We don't want to impede anything at this moment, certainly. Looks like the baby is wrapped up in the basket there, and there's other firefighters from Palm Harbor here who are coming to their assistance to pull this John boat out just a little bit farther so that mom doesn't get wet here when she climbs out of the John boat with the baby. This is quite a dramatic rescue that you're witnessing live here at the Sherwood Forest RV Park, where the water is at least 4 to 5 feet deep inside, enough to almost completely submerge a Volkswagen Beetle. And this family, I'm sure, very glad to see dry land, or what passes for dry land again, as they make their way out of the John boat with their 2 dachshunds, their young daughter and a baby.
Really dramatic rescue, as you mentioned, Mark. Incredible. Are you able? Yeah, you're able to talk to her there, see what she went through.
No, right in this basket.
Oh, that baby.
Oh, good Lord, not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We're looking at the wrong basket. They've got. What's it like to be out, ma'am? After.
Your kitties.
Was it frightening in there, ma'am?
Yeah, it was very scary.
Were you not able to get out earlier, or you just?
It just kind of snuck up on us.
Okay, quickly now to Lauren Meg with a big rescue there. Yeah. She's joining us now from Port Richey. Lauren, what can you tell us? This has been another area that's been evacuated now. Lots of mobile homes there damaged by the high flooding.
Good afternoon, Jean and Josh. What you're looking at now is a rescue happening at the Suncoast Gateway Mobile Home Park. We've been here for the past few hours. It is on Ridge Road in Port Richey, and this place is completely flooded. What they have done is bring in boats, several boats, and they are using those to get up to these homes and to get people out, because there really is not another good way to do it. They did bring in some high-profile vehicles as well, including a military vehicle that could get back through some of this flooding, and they'll be using that to bring some people out as well. But these boats are really what they're using to get back in there and get people out. We just saw them help a woman get out of her home and get into this boat so that they can bring her out to dry land. But you can imagine, you're in your house, you can't get out of there, you can't really bring many belongings with you. Some people here have pets. They want to bring them with them as well and keep them safe.
I've lived here since 1982, and I've lived through a lot of tropical storms and a number of hurricanes. I have never seen this much water over this extended period of time in the 30 years that I've lived here. The ground is absolutely saturated. We're pumping at our capacity. So I have not seen anything like this before.
Welcome back. Our flooded out team coverage continues now in Pinellas County. That's where we find 8 on your side's Mark Douglas. He has been up there all day, obviously watching over that area where from Clearwater to Palm Harbor. That's a busy roadway for travelers this afternoon, Mark.
It is, and good evening to you, Josh. And by the way, they have just reopened Palm Harbor Road, which is really good news for commuters. Now, this is, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. What a murky pudding this is. You can tell I'm still standing at about 2 or 3 feet of water. I'm walking over to this motor home. This is Charlie's dog house, it says on the side. And you can see how bad it got at the peak of this. The water was all the way up here, which I presume flooded this doghouse and a lot of other motor homes in this particular park. This park and the one next to it were under as much as 5 feet of water earlier this morning. Now, this is how it looked at the Caladese Park next door just a few hours ago. Now, even after the water dropped a few feet from its peak. Now, earlier, we watched boatloads of flood victims rescued at the Sherwood Forest RV Resort, where I'm standing now.
I mean, within probably 2 hours, we were 8 inches in the house.
From soggy grass to 8 inches in the house?
Yes.
In 2 hours?
Uh-huh.
So it just kept coming and coming?
Coming and coming. It was terrible. Never dreamed it would get that high.
Now, the sheriff tells us there were as many as 40 people rescued from these 2 mobile home parks. The concern is more flooding today, although it seems to be going down, as we say. There was concern about the high tide, although that did not seem to materialize. As I said, Palm Harbor Road, which is behind the camera, has just reopened, so that's good news. There is also flooding in the Tarpon Woods area. That's over in East Lake on the eastern part of the county. Now, anybody who needs a shelter tonight can find one. There's a Red Cross shelter open at the Clearwater Community Church. There are also sandbags available at John Chestnut Park and Lealman Park until 7 o'clock tonight. And that's the wrap up here. But like the sheriff said, there's nothing like what we've seen here today. It was just amazing. We've seen babies, children, dogs, everything coming out of this park in boats, and darn glad to be on dry land again.
Oh, yeah, and that RV, Mark, you know how tall those are. To see that water level so high, that was pretty impressive.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of these folks, unfortunately, Josh, do not have insurance. So when they come back to their RVs in this park, and it goes way back there, there's some solid structures back there, too. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do without insurance. It's going to be a real mess. Real mess for sure. All right, Mark Douglas live for us tonight. Mark, thank you for that update. Now back to our 8 on your side flooded out weather team coverage. Let's check in with News Channel 8's Lauren Make. She is live in Port Richey. And Lauren, you've been watching a lot of rescues transpire out there all day today. What's the latest now?
Good evening, Josh. Right now, we are on a fire rescue truck, a Pasco County fire rescue truck, and this is what they have been using to help get people out of their homes and rescue them, because as you can see, they can't just walk out of here. If you've got a regular kind of car, you probably can't just drive out of here. You've got to use either a boat or some sort of vehicle like this. This is very high enough that we are not getting wet here, but the water is waist deep in some places. You can see it's coming right up to people's homes here. So they have been pulling boats right up to their front stoops and getting them in there and rescuing them, or pulling this truck up to help them out. And I have Kevin Grogan here from Pasco County Fire Rescue. And while you're looking at this video, I want to ask him just a few questions about how you guys were able to do this. I'm going to let you hang on to this so that we don't fall off. You're better at this than I am, though. Well, tell me how you were able to get folks out of here.
Well, we kind of just went door to door and told them they had to evacuate. It wasn't mandatory, but if they wanted to come, we were willing to help. And basically just assist them to the trucks. We have a lift gate on the back to bring them up to where if they're wheelchair or medical injuries where they couldn't actually get in. Drive them to the front, and we shuttle them to a shelter down the street.
A lot of older folks living in this area, right?
Yeah, it's a retirement community, so most everybody in here is older.
And we saw some of those rescues happening and really just helping people to be able to get into those boats, get out of those boats. They were also, in some cases, able to bring their pets. They really didn't want to leave them behind. So we saw several dogs and cats also being taken out of here. There you see some people just trying to wade out by foot. You can see how deep the water is there. It's about up to their knees, but there are places in here where it is even higher. So it is not raining right now. We're hoping that drier weather will hold for a little while so that this might go down. But right now, vehicles like this that we are on right now, Josh, this is how they're doing it, getting people out of here. Josh?
And they're doing a great job. We saw earlier pictures with you in that truck where there were 5 to 10 people on that truck using that hydraulic lift to get back down to ground. I mean, it was pretty amazing pictures you were showing us, so we appreciate that.
And actually, Josh, they're going to be bringing these folks on here right now to try to help them out so they don't have to wade out of here. And it looks like they do have a pet with them as well. So what's happening is that lift goes down. They can get onto that from the water, and then it will just rise right up here to bring them right on the truck with us.
Oh, what a great tool. It has been getting a workout today, that is for sure. But nice to see them still out there helping out, and people able to get up on that hydraulic lift and get on the truck to safety there. Lauren, make live for us. We appreciate the pictures all day and the good word of seeing these people getting some help out there, where obviously it is a big problem with these rising floodwaters. Chief Meteorologist Steve Jervey. Steve, this has been one busy day, that's for sure.
It's been a busy day. It's been a busy weekend. We've had a heck of an event. A lot of folks are reporting a foot of rain since last Thursday, and think about that. And of course, we're dealing with the river flooding as well as issues with high tides that back up storm drainage, and that is what's leading to the widespread flooding we've seen around the area, not only this weekend and last week, but now obviously today. Well, the Lowe's Don Cesar reporting 83 degrees. You can see mostly cloudy skies. We're not seeing much rain except for some of the northern counties right now at the moment. That's very good news. It's really the last thing we want to see in this flooding situation is additional rainfall. So that's at the moment, it looks good in terms of avoiding rain, but that's the way it looked this morning with the strong showers and storms. The energy that rolled ashore this morning with deep atmospheric moisture added up to very heavy rain. Of course, we've seen this picture at the West Shore exit off of 275, and that's folks just came to a lake, basically. This is from a meet, and this is in South Tampa of a downed tree earlier today, and this kind of gives you an idea with the soggy ground and, of course, the moisture-laden limbs for trees perhaps that are vulnerable. They definitely can be fallen from as a result of weather even like this if it's just sustained rain. The area of low pressure, the main culprit, it's just looks like it's northwest of Jacksonville now. We've seen that throughout the afternoon. We can kind of see that on the wind particles there, that big circle right in the center of your screen. That's the area of low pressure that's kind of moved off, and that's it on the map right there. And as that moves farther away, the instability kind of goes with it. We still have an old boundary here around that's helping to create a few showers, but definitely fewer showers once that feature is gone and it's moving away. It's still helping to generate the showers you can see across northern county, and certainly the flow is still from the west, which is a moist and unstable flow. From Inverness all the way down to Brooksville, some scattered pop-up showers. Farther south into the Tampa Bay area, as you can see, the clouds and occasional showers that continue to roll through. Not expecting much in the way of clear skies this evening. Inland, same story. Polk County, things just mostly cloudy at the moment. Can't rule out a sprinkle, I suppose, but not the kind that would really affect the rivers here for the short term anyway. But we've obviously have a lot of rain that's already fallen, and that's what we will be dealing with. Now for the short term, again, for the evening hours, mostly northern spots closer to that low, dealing with rain. It includes the overnight as well. As that low moves farther away from us, the possibility of showers favored for the northern areas because of the proximity to it. But for the main flooded areas, looks like the rain chance is certainly there, but not as great as it was this morning as that feature moves farther away.